I think we are ready to go, so I will call our meeting to order and take this opportunity to welcome everyone to our public meeting this afternoon. I'll start with our land acknowledgement, and we acknowledge that we are on the land and surrounded by water originally inhabited by Indigenous peoples who have who have traveled this area since time immemorial. This territory is within the lands honored by the Wampum Treaties agreements between the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee and Shawnee, Lonnie, and Lenape, and allied nations to peacefully share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Specifically, we would like to acknowledge the presence of the Three Fires Confederacy, the Ojibwe, Ottawa, and the Potawatomi, and Huron-Wendat peoples. And we're dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture while remaining committed to moving forward respectfully with all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest on the agenda as presented to you this afternoon, members of council? I see none. Then the purpose of the meeting here today is to hear comments on the zoning bylaw amendment application for a parcel of land at 4155 Manning Road. And so at this time, I would like to call upon our director, Mr. Hillman, to summarize the report. Oh, the manager is here, Mr. Jeffries.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening, members of council. Back in May of this year, the Committee of Adjustment granted provisional consent to consent application B-09-22 by Maria Watson. And if we could turn to attachment 1 on our report, it will show the location of the subject property, which is on the northwest corner of Manning Road and Baseline Road intersection. You can see it there outlined in red. If we could just zoom out a bit. So the property extends from Manning Road to 12th concession. It's north of Baseline Road. And the purpose of that application, which is depicted on attachment 2, was to sever a 0.53 hectare surplus dwelling lot and to retain 32.7 hectare farm parcel. So the surplus dwelling lot is outlined in red, and the farm parcel is outlined in green on this attachment. The consent was granted conditional to a zoning bylaw amendment that would prohibit a dwelling from being built on the retained farm parcel, so they're in green, as well as addressing the oversized surplus dwelling lot in this case, which is 0.53 hectares, and that's just over the 0.5 hectare maximum established by the bylaw. So the applicant submitted the necessary zoning bylaw amendment application requesting a change in zoning for the surplus dwelling lot from A to A-40 to establish a maximum lot area of 0.53 hectares, and from agricultural A to agricultural A-41 for the farm parcel in green to prohibited residential dwelling on that property. The provincial policy statement, county official plan, and Tecumseh official plan all contain policies that permit surplus dwelling lots. And a surplus dwelling lot is a lot that is considered surplus to the needs of the farming operation as a result of the acquisition of additional farm property. The Tecumseh official plan goes on to establish that the surplus dwelling lot can't be greater than 0.5 hectares, except where man-made or natural features dictate otherwise. And that's relevant in this case because the surplus dwelling lot is defined by a row of cedars along the southerly, westerly, and northerly lot line. And secondly, that the farm parcel be rezoned to prohibit the residential dwelling. And that's what we're here to talk about tonight, Mr. Mayor, and to hear from any interested stakeholders, any concerns or questions that they might have. If the ZBA is adopted by council at a future council meeting, it will fulfill that condition of severance application B-09-22. And I should note that Maria Watson, the owner applicant, is here tonight as well if council has any questions for her. Those are my comments, Mr. Mayor, and I'm happy to answer any questions if council has any of me.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Jeffries. Any questions at this stage here, members of council to Mr. Jeffries? Yes, go ahead, Councilor Jobin.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Mayor, to Mr. Jeffries. Mostly, I guess it's a comment even to members of council. I've stated this before, surplus dwellings, and I'm happy for the applicants in this case, 100%. There's actually some farmers just over on the adjacent concession who have inquired about surplus dwelling severances, and I probably have 4 other farmers in the area who would like to have the same opportunity. And I do understand there's some policy provisions that I do feel that we should dig into deeper. Like I said before, we have century-old farmers who are committed to the agricultural community and aren't able to advance in order to sever a property off of their farm to advance their farming operation. But in this case, I understand what they fall under and what the request is this evening. So I just wanted to make that statement. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councillor Jobin. Any further questions or comments? Then maybe Mr. Jeffries, I know we have delegations that are here to Ms. Mary Watson and Sam Magliaro. They're the applicants. I don't know if there's anything that they want to add at this stage.
No, I have nothing else to add.
Okay, thank you. All right, if no further questions or comments at this stage, members, we have communications. We have 2 pieces of communication. If I could have a motion to receive said communications. Deputy Mayor Bichetti, Councillor Jobin, all in favor? Opposed, if any, that is carried. And we do have a report, DS 2022-31 zoning bylaw amendment at 4155 Manning Road, scheduling of a public meeting. And that report is entitled zoning bylaw amendment 4155 Manning Road, scheduling of a public meeting be received. Councillor Houston, thank you. And Councillor Petrie, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed, if any, that is carried. Nothing further at this stage, then adjournment is in order. Councillor Altenhoff, move. Councillor Houston, support. All in favor? Opposed, if any, that is carried. Thank you. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.